It's the Coleyolson Show. See, because we took Coley and Colson and combined it. Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode of Coleyolson Talk Top 10, where today we'll be counting down our favorite Friday the 13th kills.
Yeah, will we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm Colson Oliver, joined by Coley.
Hi.
Wow. A stellar start.
Usually you give me a better intro than that. Step up your game.
Okay. We are doing this a bit different. We're going to pick one from every movie.
Yes.
So we're not going to necessarily... They're not our favorite from...
This isn't our list of top 12s necessarily.
Yeah,
it's just our favorite from each movie.
From each movie. So, I mean, you could literally have like 8 from part 9.
Exactly. On your top, yeah.
On your top.
On this list, we don't. We pick one for
exactly.
Each. Yes.
So I'll run through the kills. So if you haven't seen the Friday the 13th movies, I'm going to spoil basically every single kill. We're going to pick our favorites. And, yeah, I won't waste much more time here.
Okay.
Friday the 13th, part 1. So we start off by seeing a counselor get stabbed in the stomach. Lady counselor is about to get killed, and then it freezes on her, so I guess we don't really see that one.
Okay.
The woman gets her throat slit in the woods. Guy gets his throat slit, left on the top bunk. We don't see it. It happens off screen. Kevin Bacon gets the arrow through the neck. Mm-hmm. The lady gets an axe buried in her head. The camp guy, he gets stabbed in the stomach. Guy's hanging on a door, arrow through his eye, arrow through his neck, and his neck is slit. Yeah. Woman thrown through a window. She's bloodied, and then I assume she gets an arrow in her. And then a head chop off.
Yeah.
So that's the 10 kills in Friday the 13th, part 1. Did you have a favorite?
My favorite was the Kevin Bacon neck poke.
That used to be my favorite.
Okay.
My new favorite is the lady who gets the axe in the fucking head.
Okay.
It's a great, like, you see the axe go up, and it hits like a light, so the light's swinging, and then it cuts back to her, and she has a fucking axe right between her eyes, like, deep in her skull.
I also have a note on here that it would have been the target practice one, but we don't get to see it.
You don't get to see it, yeah. Kevin Bacon, that one's really good. The special effects there, it just pokes right through like that hole in your neck, and then the arrow twists around, it fills up with blood. He's choking on blood. It's really cool. So we're different on part 1.
Yep.
Part 2. There's a woman who's stabbed in the temple with a screwdriver. The guy gets barbed wire wrapped around his neck and tightened to a tree. The guy gets a claw hammer to the back of his head. Guy gets caught in some sort of a trap and gets his throat slit. Guy in the wheelchair gets the machete in the face and then rolls backwards down the stairs. Guy stabbed with a spear. Girl stabbed with a spear because they're stabbed together as they're breeding. So he's stabbed in the back. She's stabbed through the stomach. The lady gets stabbed, gets her leg slashed, and then stabbed with a butcher knife. There's somebody dead in Jason's hut thing that he has. We don't know how she died, but she's dead. And then Paul, the one guy at the end, does he die? If he does, we don't know. We don't see it. So there's 9 kills on screen, but we think there's 10 because I assume Paul is dead.
Probably, yes.
But anyway, favorite from that one?
The guy in the wheelchair.
Me too. Definitely. He gets fucking macheted right in the face.
Yeah. It's very dramatic.
Yeah. So I have 2 in a row that are involving a face. Friday the 13th, part 3. There's a guy who gets a meat cleaver in the chest, knitting needle through the head and mouth. He pulls her. I think he pulls her into it through her mouth, and it like pokes out her back of her head. One of them gets a pitchfork through the neck. Another guy gets a pitchfork through the stomach, and it sticks out his back. Now, there's a biker who gets his head bashed in with a stick, but he doesn't die. He comes back later.
Yeah. So
he gets that, but he's not dead. But we didn't know that at the time. Spear gun through the eye. Handstand. Oh, the guy doing he's walking on his hands and he gets chopped through like the balls. And woman gets knifed through the hammock, through her chest. Just like the Kevin Bacon one, instead of going through the neck, it went through her chest.
Yeah.
Guy gets his throat slit completely open. Guy gets electrocuted by thrown into a fuse box. There's a fire poker that's like red hot, gets stabbed through somebody. And then the guy gets his head squeezed until the eyeball 3D shoots out. So there's 12 kills in part 3. Your favorite?
The eye pop.
Mine too. It's so good.
Yeah.
You can see the string holding the eye. It's fucking great. It just looks so good.
Yep.
Classic.
Super fun.
So part 4, Friday the 13th, part 4, we have the guy in the morgue who gets his head sawed and then twisted around.
Yeah.
The guy, there's a lady doctor who gets her stabbed in her chest and then gutted downward. There's the chubby hitchhiker woman who gets stabbed through the neck as she like squeezes a banana. Hilarious. Woman gets stabbed through her stomach while she's in a dinghy. Guy gets skewered with a harpoon. He kind of gets picked up with it and like that one was cool. Woman gets speared in the lower back. Guy gets a corkscrew in a hand and then a butcher's knife right through the face. Woman gets thrown out a window, lands on top of a car, and that's hilarious because she falls out the second story. If you were watching it, you would think she got thrown off the Nakatomi Plaza building in Die Hard.
Yeah.
The windows explode out like the whole car caves in. Guy gets stabbed through a screen into the back of his head. Guy gets his face mushed through the wall, then through shower glass. Where am I here? Woman gets axed in the chest, and guy gets stabbed a bunch in the basement, and the mother of a character dies, but we don't see it.
Oh, yeah.
So 14 kills in part 4. Your favorite?
The autopsy guy.
At the beginning?
The head.
Yeah, mine too. He saws it and then just twists his head completely around.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So we're the same, other than one movie. The Kevin Bacon one, the first one.
Yeah. And that used to be your favorite at one time.
Yep. So Friday the 13th, part 5. Guy gets stabbed in the gut with a machete. Is it a dream? We don't know. Guy number 2 gets stabbed in the neck. Again, dream. I don't know. But we see it, so I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Guy gets axed in the back. It's not by Jason. That's in the mental asylum, remember? Mm-hmm. He's chopping wood. And then we have a guy on the side of the road gets a lit flare shoved into his mouth. Other guy who's with him gets his throat slit. The cokehead guy gets axed in the head. His girlfriend gets axed in the chest. There's a guy who gets stabbed in the gut with a knife. There's a woman who gets gigantic scissors stabbed into her eyes. Guy gets a strap around his eyes and then he like cranks it with a branch around a tree. Woman gets her throat slit. A guy gets speared through the stomach and stuck to a wall, I believe. Guy gets his head chopped off with a butcher's knife. A woman got her head chopped with the same knife. Guy gets chopped in the face with a butcher's knife. A lot of face butcher knife things.
Yeah. Every movie has a lot of the same sort of kills.
Yeah. Lady stabbed through the mattress into her midsection. The woman dancing, she gets stabbed in the stomach. Paramedic has his throat slit. Guy found with like a train spike stuck in his head. Gramps, one of the guys, was thrown through a window with his eyeballs gouged out. And, of course, spoiler alert, fake Jason gets thrown onto those spike things on that hay bale thing. So we have 21 kills in this movie. Only 2 are done by Jason, and it's a dream. Tommy Jarvis is having a dream at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Where they're digging up Jason, and Jason is alive. So, part 5, you can't really consider any of the kills done by Jason.
Yeah.
So in the total realm of like counting up his kills,
this movie doesn't
part
count.
5 doesn't count, part 1 doesn't count. Because they're both not done by Jason. So your favorite from this one?
The belt around the tree.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Part 6.
Okay.
So the guy gets his heart punched out, like through his chest. Guy gets speared in the guts and then launched. The woman gets speared in the head and drowns. You can hear the bubbles and see them.
Bubbles.
The paintballing guy gets his arm torn off and face smashed into a tree. And then paintballer 1, 2, and 3 are all slashed at the same time, kind of like the Three Stooges when you slap them. You know,
Yeah.
This was like a machete.
Good sound effects.
Yes. The caretaker guy gets a broken bottle smashed through his neck. A guy gets stabbed through his stomach. His girlfriend, who was sitting with him, gets stabbed at the same time. She was behind him. Nikki has her head crushed into the metal door of the motorhome frame. Court gets stabbed in the ear and crashes the motorhome. Paintballer is found chopped up into a bunch of pieces. Counselor's pulled out of the window and has her head twisted off. Counselor gets slashed and tossed into a window. Cop gets a lawn dart thing in the head. Another cop gets his head squeezed, and the sheriff gets bent in half backwards. So there's 18 kills in part 6. Your favorite?
The counselor getting their head twisted off.
Oh, boo. I picked Nikki getting her head fucking driven. It's such a funny scene. What are you doing back there? Taking a dump? and then we just see her screaming for help as her head gets mushed into a metal. It's fucking hilarious. Makes me laugh every time.
Good.
Good. Part 7. So the guy is killed. He falls into the water and drowned. That's not a Jason kill. Then we have a lady who's stabbed through the throat, stuck to a tree. Guy has a metal thing thrown into his back. He's then picked up and tossed. Jason stabs somebody through the back, and his hand comes out his front. Lady gets slammed against a tree in her sleeping bag. Guy gets his face slashed. Lady gets pulled underwater and drowns. Lady gets grabbed through the wall and sliced with a curved knife. I don't even remember that one. Guy gets his head squeezed until he dies. Lady has a toy horn shoved in her eye. It makes a funny noise. Like, where am I here? Guy stabbed with kitchen knife in the stomach. Guy gets his throat slit open with machete. Lady thrown through a window and dies. Lady gets stabbed in the back while a doctor guy holds her. Guy gets sawed into the guts, and lady gets an axe in the head and then tossed behind the TV. So that's it. There's 16 kills in part 7. Your favorite?
The sleeping bag.
Yeah, that's my number 2 in this one.
Yeah.
It actually... Number 1 for me is the guy getting his head squeezed.
Okay.
But you kind of have to watch the real version for it.
Yeah. See...
I'm cheating.
Yeah.
But the sleeping bag version, same thing. It goes on a lot longer in the other one.
That's true.
But, yeah, I picked that one because it's just so fucking hilarious to watch this guy's head squeeze like a zit. So, yeah, 16 kills. Part 8. Guy killed with a spear gun. Woman killed with the same spear gun. Woman killed with her own guitar. Guy in a sauna has a rock shoved into his stomach. Girl stabbed with a broken piece of mirror. Guy in the ship was stabbed in the side with a spear. Another guy has his throat slit with a knife. Woman choked to death on the dance floor. Guy gets thrown into an electrical board, fries and burns. Guy thrown off the tower, impaled by a pole. Guy on ship gets an axe buried into his back. Drug addict guy gets a needle thrown at his back. Another drug addict gets a pipe smashed over his head. Boxing guy thinks he can go with Jason, boxes him up, and then tells him to take his best shot and gets his head removed with one punch. Cop gets pulled into the alley. We don't see the kill. Teacher who was in the car, and the car explodes after they crash. That's not Jason's kill, technically.
Yeah.
The guy gets thrown into a bucket of slime because New York is full of slime. Yeah.
Style.
And then a city worker guy gets his head smashed in with a wrench. So there are 18 kills in the movie, and I have 17 of them by Jason.
Okay.
Your favorite?
The head punched off.
Oh, fuck yeah. Julius the boxer.
Yep.
Such a good scene. He literally squares off and is boxing him, and he gets so tired after, I don't know, a humiliating amount of punches. Like, it's like 20 seconds,
Yeah,
and then he's out, and he's like, take your best shot, and Jason punches him, and his head goes flying and lands in a dumpster.
He's just giving it all he's got, trying to...
Yeah. Classic. Okay, Jason Goes to Hell, Part 9. And that's the other thing. I didn't count any of the Jason kills, because he technically comes back. So yes. Jason gets killed in a few of these movies, and I didn't count them.
Yeah, because you gotta stay dead to be dead.
Like this one starts with Jason getting fucking exploded by the cops, but I didn't count it. So Corner, he gets his head smashed into a grate and a probe jammed into his head. Security guard 1 and 2 are both killed. Girl slashed up, possibly with a scalpel. Gal that's mating, she gets split.
Gal.
Yeah, and the guy screams. We hear him scream that she's banging, and then he goes quiet. He probably got speared with the same weapon. Lady has her head smashed in between the car door and car. Another guy dies off screen. A lady has a long knife thrown at her back. A cop who was possessed by Jason melts away and falls apart. It's disgusting. Now we have cop 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So cop 1 gets beat to death. Cop 2 gets his head smashed into a locker. 3 gets his nose pushed into his brain. 4 gets smashed with number 5. He takes their heads and clunks them together like Moe in Three Stooges again. Guy in restaurant hit with a bullet. That's not Jason. He just gets shot. Lady has her chin inverted from a spinning elbow. Guy dunked in fry machine, then thrown on the griddle. Waitress has her head squeezed until the top of her head pops off. Fucking hilarious. Guy transfers the Jason worm, and then he dies off screen. Cop killed by lady stabbing him. That's again not Jason. And cop with Jason in him has throat open, bug crawls out. You have to watch the movie. And then Duke gets squeezed to death. So we have 21 kills by Jason and 23 in the movie. And technically, none of these are officially by Jason because it's his spirit, but
he's
it's not
possessing the people.
Yeah, it's not the Jason Voorhees.
They're not his body.
Exactly. Some fucking classics in this one. Your favorite? I assume I know it.
I'm sure you do.
It's not going to be the same as mine, though.
No?
No.
Okay.
You got the spinning elbow?
Uh-huh.
Oh, fuck yeah. Such a good one. My favorite is when the girl's banging the guy. And because she's riding him like is it cowboy style? Cowgirl style?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? And she's up on top, and then she just gets fucking stabbed through the midsection and ripped up. And it literally goes up, like, through her tits and out beside her neck, and it splits her like a V, like a Y. Fucking hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
Now, the one that you're talking about, which used to be my favorite, when he lands, this woman is beating the Jason from behind. She's like, you fucking motherfucking piece of shit, fucking... And Jason just does this fucking spinning elbow, lands on her chin. It literally pushes her chin inside, and she goes like... It
You
is
have to see it.
the funniest fucking kill. It might be the funniest kill in the entire franchise. It's fucking
very, very funny.
unbelievable. So good. So yeah, that is part 9. So Jason X. Okay, so guy who throws a sheet over Jason, we find him hung up in a few seconds. Now we have escort 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Head bash, choked, body thrown into him, choked and bashed, speared, thrown through door. And then the woman gets her face frozen and then smashed. Where am I here? Guy gets knifed through the back, blood sprays on his girlfriend. Guy gets his back broken. Guy has his head bashed into a wall. Guy gets neck broken slowly. Guy punched off balcony onto like a corkscrew thing and then spins around down it. Lady has her throat slit. Guy gets chopped in half, tries to crawl away. Lady is hanging on a spike. Guy gets sliced up. Guy gets killed off screen. Off screen, we hear him screaming. Guy gets his face mashed into an electrical board. Girl tries to fly the ship away herself, crashes and dies. That's not Jason. Guy blows himself up trying to kill Jason. Girl sucked through a hole in the ship. Girl in Illusion is killed in her sleeping bag. Girl in Illusion 2 is killed in her sleeping bag as well, bashed into a tree.
Yep.
And Guy rides Jason to Earth Part 2, or Earth number 2, and burns up in the entranceway in. So we have 25 kills, 24 of them by Jason. 2 of them technically are not real, but we'll count them anyway.
Okay.
Your favorite?
The one that's killed off screen and we just hear them screaming.
LOL. If you hadn't fucking... No, you didn't. If you didn't smile, I was literally looking at you like, what? And then I saw your dumb smile.
My smile is
Let's just say it at the same time. Ready?
Okay.
Ready, 1, 2, 3.
Face
frozen
frozen
and smashed. Of
Yeah.
course. This was such a cool one. He grabs her fucking head, dips it in wow.
Whatever that cold stuff is.
Holy shit. What is it
I
called?
don't know.
I was about to say hydrogen peroxide.
Wow.
Dunked into liquid nitrogen.
Yes.
Fucking got there.
Good
and
job.
then he pulls her head out and fucking bashes it, and it's fucking hilarious. Great kill.
Yeah.
Okay, Freddy vs. Jason. So we have the lady at the lake gets stabbed to a tree, which technically is a dream, but we count it. Guy gets stabbed repeatedly, then folded in half. Guy gets his head chopped off. His son gets slashed while holding the father's head. Girl with a pipe through the chest. Guy who gets killed with the same pipe and then launched through the air because he was raping her. Tall jock gets his head turned 180 degrees. Fat jock gets killed with a flying machete. And then we have guy slice, guy slice, guy slice, guy slice. There's 6 of them as they're going through the party. Security guard is crushed by a big door. Cop gets killed by electricity by Jason. Guy gets cut in half. Guy smashed into a metal thing on the wall, then bleeds out. Girl smashed with a machete into a tree. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 kills for Jason.
Okay.
1 for Freddy in that movie.
Stupid Freddy.
Yeah. Your favorite?
Guy slice number 4.
LOL. You can't do the same joke 2
Sorry,
times in a row.
I had to try.
Yeah, of course you did.
No, the guy that gets sliced while holding his dad's head.
Okay. And I will actually say that if you had picked Guy Slice number 4, those aren't bad. He's literally, guys are running up to him, and he's slicing, and they turn, and their chest is open, and it's spraying blood.
Yeah.
They're really cool. My favorite is the fat jock who's running through the corn and gets a flaming machete thrown through him, and he spits the blood onto the camera.
Yep.
Very cool. Okay, so yeah, 19 kills there. Which leads us to Friday the 13th, 2009, the reboot. So the woman decapitated, that's not Jason. Guy gets his ear sliced off, and then he's bloodied up. Woman gets burned alive in her sleeping bag. Guy gets stabbed through the floor and then pulled in. Guy who was in a bear trap gets a machete driven into his skull. Guy has his throat slit. Guy gets shot with an arrow right through his head. Lady gets hit by a boat, then stabbed through the top of her head. Guy has a screwdriver rammed into his neck. Guy has an axe thrown into his back, then forcing him down, meaning he picks him up and throws him, and when he lands on his back, the axe pushes through. Where am I here? Girl slammed into antlers on a hanging door. Cop has a fire poker rammed through his head. Guy gets stabbed, ripped up, and then spiked on the back of a truck. Girl gets stabbed through the back with a machete, and then girl gets pulled into the lake. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 kills. Mm-hmm. Your favorite?
The sleeping bag over the fire.
Yeah, that's a good one. Creepy.
It's the most gross and way to die. If it was pure funniness, it would be the one that gets stabbed in the top of the head.
Yeah.
The dock.
At the dock? Okay.
Yeah.
I pick Richie, the guy who is in the bear trap.
Yeah.
And then because he's standing there, and then he sees Jason, he's screaming, and he stops, and then Jason comes up and does this windmill, whoosh, and he fucking whacks that machete into the guy's head, right to his nose. And then he just puts his foot on his head and pushes him off of his knife, and it makes this great noise. Fantastic kills, though.
Yep.
So yeah, if I were to pick, I think it hurts to say, but I think that Part 9 might have the best kills. It sucks to say it because they're not in Jason's form.
Yeah.
So you're getting these kills not done by the character of the look of Jason. They're done by normal people.
But they're very inventive kills, and they're very funny.
Very funny.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, but they're all, every movie has, not one movie has at least one kill that you're not ugh, that was horrible. Yeah. Every single one of them, at least one, you're like, fuck yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a fun watch, so.
Yeah, they are.
That's our favorite kills from the Friday the 13th film franchise. So check out this Sunday. Coley and I are doing the Friday the 13th ranking from least favorite to favorite. Brad couldn't make it in, so we had to get Coley into. We were going to do this ranking as part of our own, but with Brad not being able to make it to this one, we were like, oh, we'll just put it out. It's horror related, so why not?
Yeah.
So, check that out on Sunday. And, as always, we'll be back at some point. I think we're nearing the end of this. I say that now, and we'll end up continuing for another 4 months, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but
life is busy. It's hard.
Well, not for me. I got nothing but time, but you. Get it?
Some of us have to work.
I work. I work more than you fucking idiot.
No, we work the same.
No, you don't.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Okay, so then that's settled.
Your 40 hours adds up to more than my 40 hours, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
idiot.
We'll be back in 2 more weeks with something else. I don't know what. We'll figure it out. Anyway, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Please subscribe, like, and share all the shows available on Watchers. Doesn't this piano music remind you of Rocky Balboa training in Rocky 3? Ugh, I stink. To keep up with Coley and myself, follow us on Instagram at Oliver Coley and at whore_sleeve. And please follow Watchers_podcast for information on all our shows. Thanks again.